for this conversation, let's go to the book of Matthew, the gospel according to Apostle Matthew, chapter 5, verse 37. Now, while you're turning there, let me give you a brief update of my trip to Tokyo, Japan. As my wife and I and a couple of friends, we flew across the Pacific Ocean, and we were amazed as soon as we landed in Japan, because it was like we were in a different country, but it's like a different world. We've never seen so much generosity, so much courtesy, so much humbleness, so much respect. I mean, we've never seen people who really have this type of servitude spirit. I mean, I haven't seen this in my lifetime. Not everybody. I mean, it's one thing to find a couple of people because they're trying to sell you something. No. This was just their culture. And we were blown away. I mean, I was definitely blown away. I mean, they find it offensive if you try to give them a tip. It's like, no. And so when you ask them, so why don't you guys accept tips? And it's because we don't need it. It's like, whoa, everybody needs money. We don't need it. What they're saying is it's a part of who they are. That their whole lifestyle is about servitude. It's about giving. It's about caring. And so for you to give them a tip, it's offensive to them because it's like, you can't tip me for this. No, this is who I am. This has been built up over generation after generation after generation after generation. The kind of culture we have, the world, we nod when we say hi. We don't give hand gestures. So that's a no-no in Japan, by the way. You just nod and you keep on moving. But for them not to accept a tip, that showed me something real fast, because in America, you better give me a tip. Oh, we're going to be duking it out. You better put something on this table. You better give me something extra. Because we are all about receiving. We're not about giving. And so that's the first thing I noticed was the humility. Yes, the humility. I have always despised what I call yes men. And that's what I was looking at. Are these just a bunch of yes men over here? Yes, sir. And I realized real quick, no. This is who they are. This is not a facade. This is not fake. Because, over here, we got a lot of yes men. And I want to talk about that. I'm serious. I despise yes men. And we'll get to that in a second. But go with me to the book of Matthew. Let me just throw this down. In chapter 5, where we see Jesus looking out at the crowd. And they've come because he's performed all these miracles and he's getting ready to teach again. But before he starts teaching them, he takes a detour trip into the mountain and he starts teaching his disciples. And here comes these Beatitudes. Jesus is teaching. He's teaching all of these things that they're practicing over in Japan. He's saying, take care of the poor. Yeah. Become meek. Become humble. You are the salt of the earth. He's just teaching all these golden nuggets, if you will. Have this generosity, have this respect about yourself. Have this servitude spirit. And I'm saying that's what they're doing in Tokyo. Now, here we are in America, and we're a Christian nation, and we're built upon Christian principles. And I'm going to tell you right now, as I was in Tokyo, I'm saying, hold up, we've got the 10 Commandments over here. They have Shinto and Buddhism, and how they have all these attributes that the Beatitudes is telling us to have, and they have them, but we read them, but they're practicing, but we're listening to them, but we're not demonstrating them. We cannot serve those people. That humility, that gesture, that just flows. I mean, it just flows. It's just so easy. And we're talking about 14 million people just in Tokyo alone, packed on trains and packed in the subways, and you don't hear none of them cussing and fighting. As a matter of fact, you can hear a pin drop on their subway trains, and they're packed. The only people you could hear talking on those trains were me, my wife, and my friends. We're the loudest people on the train. Everything is so humble and respectful. They're talking, but they're whispering. And we're just loud, just going, and it's like, we need to tone this volume down a little bit. I mean, because meekness is in kind of being still. Meekness is in kind of being peaceful. I mean, humility is in kind of knowing who you are and being selfless and not selfish. We've got a lot to learn from other people, from other cultures. We've lost our way. When you look at us, everything is loud in America. I mean, all the graffiti, everybody's painting themselves, because that's what graffiti is. You're showing your own expression, and all the loud music, that's your own expression, because we're so selfish. No graffiti in Tokyo. I didn't see no graffiti. City bigger than ours, no graffiti. No homeless people. Not saying they don't have any, didn't see any. Walked all over the city, didn't see any. That's disturbing to me. For a people who are serving gods they've created better than the God who's created everybody that we're doing over. God who created all of creation. We are claiming to be a Christian nation serving him, and we're being outserved by them. Houston, we have a problem. And then as we matriculate down to our verse in the book of Matthew, chapter 5, verse 37, Jesus is saying, but let your communication be yea, yea, nay, nay. For whatsoever is more than these cometh of evil. He said, let your body language be a yes or no. Let your verbal words be a yes or a no. Yeah, don't do all this shucking and jiving. Don't be lukewarm. No. Stand for something. And then he goes a bit further as I summarize, going down from verse 33 to verse 37, down to Jesus is saying, don't swear by nothing. Stop all that foolishness. You didn't create heaven. You didn't create earth. So don't swear by it. No. Let your yes be a firm yes. Let your no be a firm no. Stop all that foolishness. These people over here in Tokyo, their yes is yes, there's no is no. They're just so meek, so humble. I'm not about to put myself outside a box for you. I'm not about to have this long dissertation with you. It's a solid yes. It's a firm no. See, if you can stand on that footing, see, you're strong. You're solid. Because everyone knows where you are. You're not wishy-washy. Why do you need to swear? I mean, what's up? I can't trust you? This is where we are. See, when you're humble and you're meek, that's a strength. I didn't realize how much of a strength that is for everyone to be on the same page. And so I realized, I told you, I despise yes men. I do, always have. And so I'm looking at these people over here. Are these yes men? What are these people doing? I mean, they're just yes people? No. They bought into a system. They bought into a lifestyle for generations. And so it's trickled all the way down. Because, see, to me, yes man over here in America, come on. I despise you. I'm going to tell you right now, because all you do is suck up because you're selfish. You brown nose because you're selfish. You sell out for your boss, for a man, because you're selfish, because you're after what you want to, obtain. That's what you're after. You're not about what everybody else needs. It's about what you need. And you're constantly agreeing with authority figures. Yes, boss, yes, boss. You're like a puppy dog wagging a tail in front of his or her face. And I'm saying yes men, but I mean yes women. I mean yes people. You know what I'm talking about. I despise them. I despise them. Now, let me back this up. We all need favor. All of us. And so we need favor in the workplace. We need favor at church. We need favor in our marriages. We all need favor. And I'm okay with that, because favor is fair in so many ways. Because we say favor ain't fair, but favor is just favor. And we all need to obtain it, because that's how we are promoted. That's how we are given advantages in it. And we are advancing because of favor from other people. Because, see, people who have favor, they excel at what they're doing. They excel at their jobs. And so that's why you do get favor. So I'm okay with favor. What I'm not okay with is what I call unhealthy favoritism. People who are shucking and jiving, people who are just sucking up, people who are just brown nosing. See, those are those yes men. I'm not down with that. Not at all. I played sports for a long time, and I watched players on the basketball team always sucking up to coaches to get more playing time. I wouldn't cool with that. No, go work your butt off like I do, and get what you're supposed to be getting. I watch employees, yes, sucking up to the bosses all the time, trying to get a promotion. I watch people at church, yes, sucking up to the clergy, sucking up to auxiliary leaders, trying to get in a position of status. I've watched it. It's all around us. People stroking bosses' egos, trying to get ahead, versus just working and getting favor the right way. No. I want to jump over you, and so I'm going to be the yes man for the boss. Every time he asks for something, I'm going to be the yes man. I would be the yes man. Now let me tell you something. You look at that and you say, I can't learn from that type of style, that type of character. Being a yes person like that, I can't learn from that, Donnie. I mean, that's crazy. Who could learn from that? Somebody always sucking up, kissing up, someone who's always an avid yes person. You look at that and you say, you can't learn from that. But hold up for a moment. Just slow up just for a moment. Those people have a passion for sucking up, kissing up. They have a passion for recognition, for attention. They have a passion for their cause. Now, it's a selfish cause, but they do have a passion. They have a passion for promoting themselves, for being the boss's favorite. And I look over at Tokyo. Those people have a passion for serving their gods, for serving their religion, for serving their emperor, for serving their prime minister. They have a passion for that stuff. And then I look at you and I here in America. And I don't want to be a yes man, but I do like their passion. It's something to be admired. Now, I like to look at the good in everything, because there's good in everything. You have to just, don't get so caught up on the bad. But when I look at a yes man's passion, I start seeing some of the attributes that we all need to have. When I look at those passions they have in Tokyo, serving the wrong gods, the wrong religion, but they have a passion for what they're doing. We have a passion as believers to, whenever God gives me a husband, I'll change and be a better woman. Whenever God gives me a car, then I'll be a better believer. Whenever God gives me, watch this, a child, then I'll become a better person. Whenever God gives me a bigger house, a new house, then I'll become. Whenever God promotes me in my job, then I'll become a better. Whenever God lets me make this NBA team, then I'll become a believer. See, we got these qualifiers on God. We've got all of these standards for God for our lives. Whenever God blesses me in this area, I will sell out to him. Whoa. So you're trying to serve a God who has to do for you before you do for him. And that's the kind of society we live in. And so I started changing my mind a little bit about yes people because of the passion they have. And we have this lackadaisical passion, and we're serving the real God. But he has to do for us before we do for him. You got to be kidding me. But that's where we are. So I started looking at the Bible stewards of old, if you will. What did they do? I mean, because were they yes men for God? And I started looking at, what they were. I looked at Adam in the garden saying, yes, I'll take care of this garden. I looked at Abel saying, yes, I'll give my best offering. I looked at Noah and said, yeah, I'll build an ark for you. I started to start looking at all these men and women in the Bible who were yes people. Abraham, yes, I'll leave my country, and I'll offer up my son Isaac to you as a sacrifice. Jacob, yeah, I'll be over the 12 tribes of Israel. Joseph, yes, I'll be forgiving to my family who sold me into slavery. Moses, yes, I'll lead your people out of Egypt. Joshua, yes, as for me and my house, yes, we will serve the Lord. David, yes, I will be king. Look at all these yes. John the Baptist, yes, Lord, I will be the forerunner for Jesus Christ. I'll take all the hits up front. Mary, yes, Lord, use my body for this virgin child called Christ. Yes, use my body for it. Let the Holy Spirit impregnate me. Jesus, yes. Also, yes, I'll step out of heaven and go down here and clean up this mess that these people have messed up. I will crawl into this fleshly body to save a mess that can't pay this debt for themselves. The disciple says, yes, I'll follow Jesus. Paul says, yes, I will convert from being against Christians and start being the biggest Christian. The woman who had the issue of blood said, yes, Lord, I have stayed with all this cultural stuff and none of it's healed me. So I'm going to crawl to you and say yes as I touch the hem of your garment. The blind, the cripple, the crazy, the lazy, all said yes to be healed. You have to have a spirit of humility somewhere. You have to have an opportunity to check yourself somewhere. I mean, we have to stop flying off the handle. And we have to start really having Christian attributes. I was born this way. I'm going to be this way. This is just the way I am. No, you got to check yourself. Something has to change. You have to have fruit. You have to display fruit. Yes. as a believer. And the type of attitude, that type of altitude that I found myself in Tokyo, it just made me check myself to come back and say, yes, I've got to be better than what I've been. I think I'm a pretty good person. But my thing was, I need to be better than what I've seen them doing. And I've got the real thing. You got to be kidding me. They cannot serve God. They cannot serve me. No, I can't have that. So I don't want to be a yes person to a point. But after listening to all the patriarch of old, I want to be a yes person with a yes spirit. That's what they were doing. They had a yes spirit. They weren't competing with their yeses and nos and trying to have so much language after. No, they were saying yes and no. Firm yes. I'll do it. Yes, Lord, I'll do it. Yes, Lord, I'll do it. Yes, Lord, I'll do it. We're going to run into people all day long in everyday walks of life. I mean, some of you right now won't go into a nightclub and because your family's going and you guys are on a vacation. And so we're going to go into this club tonight and just kind of have a good time. And you're saying, no, I'm not going because I'm a believer. No, sometimes you have to go into places that we don't want to go into because you have to be made uncomfortable to make someone else comfortable. Inside of that club that night, your job is to have a yes spirit if you do go in, to be able to have an opportunity for somebody there who's looking for more than just being in a club. And God has a plan for you, yes, to meet up with this person. You see, we can't stay in these confinement, these four walls in our houses and these churches. We should be out in the highways and the byways. We should be out there in the hedges, in the bushes, witnessing, sharing this good news. No one's going to come out inside these buildings to hear this word like we should. Everybody in the church building is saved, basically. You realize that? We're not high-fiving, pounding each other, doing all this good stuff. But we're all saved. The work is in the field. That's where the real work is. Some of you don't even go to your family's parties and family unions because, it's just it's so much sin. It's so much. Please. I mean, you were once a sinner and now you're a saint. And so take your saintly little self with your yes spirit to the reunion because someone's there is going to pull on you. Someone's going to have an issue of blood and they're going to pull on you. And it's going to be great that you're there because guess what? They need someone who can speak life to them. But if you're not there, they just party all night long. See, ain't no party without a Christian being involved, if you ask me. Because we know how to shut it down. We know how to bring discipline to the party. Yes, when people are getting out of control, we know how to speak a word. So sometimes we need to be in these places. But sometimes when we're holding out, we keep ourselves out of places. Some of you are going to work tomorrow and you already got it made up in your mind that this young lady, this young man been on your nerves every single day and you're going to get them told this day. But because you have a yes spirit inside of you, yes, this day when you open your mouth and you're getting ready to go after them, they start sharing with you all the things that's happening to them at their home. They start sharing with you all the calamity, all the things that they're going through, all the hardships that they have to go through every single day. And guess what? And they break and start crying and they lean on your shoulder. Now, this is somebody you're about to beat up. You're about to lay hands on. But see, God has made an opportunity because they see something inside of you, because of your humility. You see, we've got a lot of things we should be proud of as we're walking and living in this life. And for those of you who are not, believe me, you need some of this. But because they're breaking on your shoulder crying, it's an opportunity for you to share the good news of the gospel with them. This is a moment. This is a Kodak moment for you and that individual to bond because of your yes spirit. You came to lay hands on them, to lay some words on them. And instead, they laid a bleeding heart on you. And because of your spirit, your yes spirit, you're able to receive them and you're able to pour into them. Wouldn't it be nice if everyone had a yes spirit? I wish everyone could visit Tokyo and just see that humility. I'm not saying they ain't got some demons in the closet. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. But when you see a uniform front like that from everybody, from 14 million people, I didn't meet all of them, but you know what I'm saying? Everyone we met thousands upon thousands. They all have that same spirit. That same spirit. That's a agent of change. We need that here in America. We need a yes spirit everywhere we go. Instead of this middle finger spirit when you're traveling on the freeway. You know what I'm talking about. We need a yes spirit everywhere we go. Sometimes we have to go into the deep in order to pull people out. I pray that you have a yes spirit like Jesus and not a selfish spirit like most of us have been having for years. I pray that you stop suppressing your yes spirit and you start using it. I was speaking with my son the other day, and I was informing him that when I said yes to Jesus Christ, that years later, my friends, my family members, my father started giving their lives to Jesus Christ, or started rededicating their lives to Jesus Christ, all because I said yes. And that's why it's so important for you to say yes to Jesus Christ. It's because he said yes to you. Yes, he stepped out of heaven, and he said yes to all of your mess that you couldn't pay, your debt. And he says, I will step out of glory to pay Donnie's debt. I'll go wrap up in this sinful flesh to pay this debt that he can't pay, that they can't pay. And so all you have to do is say yes to him by confessing that Jesus Christ is Lord, and by believing, yes, with all your heart, that God has raised him from the dead. See, that's your yes. And you too shall be saved. That's the yes that we all need. We need this yes of humility, this yes of servitude, this yes of respect, this yes of discipline. We need this yes running through our country, running through our family. So I just pray. You don't have to travel away to Tokyo, Japan. You can just trust an old brother like me that we are lacking and we are in need of humility. I pray this day that you and your family start serving God. Not so much the word right way, but start serving him the righteous way. Start having a yes spirit throughout the day. And watch how many people are drawn to you that you might show them the Father. In Jesus' name, you be blessed.